What's going on? How's everybody doing? Hopefully doing well on this Thursday. Probably should be watching this on a Thursday, I would think, getting ready for the quiz on Friday. So only 7 words this week. The article we read on Langston Hughes, I don't think it was too bad, but I would like to go over those 7 words again one more time just to make sure you're fully prepared for the quiz. And I think if you watch this video at least once, maybe twice, you're going to really crush that quiz. So let's take a look at some of these words here. And I do have example sentences for all of them. Pivotal and significant, those two, they pretty much mean the same thing, like important. And let's take a look at this first one right here. Graduating from college was a pivotal moment in her life. So something really impactful, something very important. Significant, and I hope this is true. Studying for English class takes up a significant amount of her time. So both of these are very important. Pivotal, significant. Yeah. Middle school, I mean, it's a pivotal moment in most people's lives. Usually a pretty crappy moment in most people's lives, but I guess if you have to be, quarantined inside for any year in your schooling, I mean, 7th grade is it's a pretty good one to be quarantined for if you have to. It's unfortunate that we have to. Let me get this a little bigger so we're not seeing all the ads. All right, the next one is condemned, and you can see disapproval. You're like telling somebody it's wrong. The prisoner was condemned to prison for 20 years after robbing the bank. You can see this little girl probably here. It looks like she's stealing the cookie jar. So her parents are probably condemning her. So condemning, it just means like you're telling somebody they're wrong. But sometimes it can be pretty serious because some people are like condemned to death if they do something horrible in a state that has the death penalty. So just know that condemned can just be like a finger wag, like you shouldn't do that, or it could be like something really bad. The next one is voyaged, and maybe you know this as a noun, like I'm gonna take a voyage next summer to Italy or whatever. So it can be a noun. It's another word for a trip. I don't think we say it that much, but you can turn it into a verb, and it pretty much means the same thing. It's like to make a journey by sea or in space. So you could journey to the moon, but you could take a plane and journey to Portugal, or like this person did in this sentence, he voyaged across the Atlantic Ocean and arrived in Portugal. Now, when I hear that, it makes me think that he was on a boat just by using voyaged, but by the definition, it could be in the air as well. The next one is impacted. We only got 3 more here. The next one is impacted. So it means to make a big impression. So I'm hoping that this English knowledge you are gaining from this lesson is really impacting your life. I hope that is changing your life for the good. I can hope. But here's my example sentence for impacted. Meeting the pro basketball player really impacted her life. She vowed to practice even harder from now on. So it often, when something impacts you, it makes a really big change. Obviously, the coronavirus, right, has impacted all of us. I mean, we've totally had to change our lives from about a year ago. March, was it March 13th, 2020? Everything went down. The next one can be a little bit hard here, I think. Deferred. So you put it off for a future time. So a lot of students, man, I hope you don't have to deal with this, but a lot of students, when they come out of college, I mean, they're in a lot of debt. So it costs like $100,000, right, to go to some of these schools. Hopefully you're all very smart and you'll get scholarships and you don't have to worry about that. But If you go to college and you come out of college with a big debt, you might have to defer that loan because when most people are just starting out, they're not making that much money, and the price they have to pay back that loan is a lot. So you can defer payment on that loan. So maybe when you're 23, you're like, I'm just trying to pay my rent. But maybe when you get to be 26, 27, you can start paying on that loan. So you defer it, you put it off for a little while. And in the Langston Hughes poem, they're talking about what happens when a dream is deferred. What happens when you can't get that dream like right now? Maybe somebody or society is keeping you from that dream. Like Langston Hughes was writing in the 1920s, 1930s. I mean, there were laws in the United States and parts of the United States that because of his skin color, he was not allowed to, and we'll take it very simple, but ride in the front of the bus. I think, right? He had to ride in the back of the bus, something like that. So if society is keeping down your dream because of your skin color, deferring your dream, what happens? Does it explode or does it just shrivel up in the sun like a raisin? I like that poem. And the last one, make it a little bigger here. It is depicting. Depicting. So to show or represent by drawing, painting, some other art form. So it could be in a book, could be in a TV series. The one I have here is the cartoon was depicting the life of George Washington. So maybe little kids were watching in class a cartoon about George Washington. So it wasn't actually the George Washington that we know. I don't think any actual photos exist of him, no actual movies. So everything about his life has to be depicted in some way. So we have paintings of George Washington. I'm sure there are like little kid TV series about cartoons about George Washington. So those are the 7 words that you will see on the quiz tomorrow. So hopefully you're all prepared for that and you're going to just do an awesome job.